Good morning, everyone. Retire on Dividends Commute Podcast, where we drive to work together. And I have no voice, oddly enough. So, today's video is going to be about 25,000. So, somehow, some way, I made it to 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, which, to think back when I started, obviously I didn't think, I definitely didn't think I'd get here, especially, when you first start a YouTube, or, I started my YouTube channel 6 years ago, to give you guys an idea. It was in the early stages of investing for me. So my plan was because I had no money to invest with. My plan was to just record my journey as I learn and, share it with people, because the thinking was the everyday investor doesn't exist. The average person you talk to, they don't know anything about investing. In fact, they don't invest. And they probably only invest either through their 401k or through a guy, right? Some people have a guy, and they pay someone to do it. Hopefully my voice gets back to normal. But yeah, that was my thinking. And at the point, I thought of a name, and my channel name was The Broke Investor, which was actually accurate at the time, because I was a broke investor. But the thought process in my mind was, well, if people see a channel called The Broke Investor, and they're also a broke investor, then they would be interested in listening to another broke investor. In the end, that was a stupid thought, because it's not true. Some people may have thought that, but the majority will not. They're not going to try to listen to someone just like them. Right? They're not going to try to listen to someone who knows less than them. And right off the bat, if they hear The Broke Investor, this guy's broke, why am I going to listen to a guy that's broke? Right? So, and that was, I kind of hope that wasn't the case, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, or maybe my channel just sucks so bad it doesn't even matter what the name was. But I'd like to blame a little of it on the name. So I had that name for about maybe 3-4 years, I don't remember. And so I started the channel with my first video being in the car, because at the time I was keeping it like a secret from friends and family, my wife even, because you're kind of I'm not gonna say embarrassed, but who are you to start a YouTube channel? That's going in your mind, I'm going to make a YouTube channel about investing. What the hell do I know about investing? Who the hell's going to watch me? But you just do it, right? So I just did it, and I kept doing it and recording videos and videos and videos. And, the first year, it was bad. I had no luck. And at that point in time, all you needed was 500 subscribers to be monetized. I'm not sure about the hours. I wasn't even thinking that far ahead. I was just trying to get 500 subscribers. I was sharing my YouTube channel everywhere, and no luck, man. No luck at all. And, the struggle was real. I made, a lot of decent videos, I thought, but the content just wasn't getting out there. So, it wasn't until year 5 where I started to have success. But again, over those first 5 years, I continued to make dividend investing content, because that's what I was doing. I was a dividend investor. I was, the old school mentality. I was max out the Roth IRA, done, right? Put in what you can into the Roth 401k, done. Invest what little you have left in the taxable account, done. And that was my thinking, and that's why I never really had a lot of money to invest with. I never really made a lot of dividends, and I also was only investing in, individual dividend stocks such as Apple, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, a lot of various different stocks across all the different sectors. I was listening to earning calls, covering them, talking about balance sheet, income statements, comparing funds, and that all involved a lot of time. And I'm glad I did it. Great learning experience. But in the end, what matters, is what the market thinks, the market reaction. So, for example, there's companies that, they may not produce any income at all, right? Their total net income could be negative, and their stock price is going up. So, you can't really, tell what the heck's going to happen. So it's not like me reading a balance sheet or reading an income statement, I'm going to find something that, some of these other analysts don't know, right? All of this is already priced in. There's no secret. The only good thing is these are secure companies that aren't going to go anywhere, right? Sure, they'll have corrections. Sure, they may have trouble. And, at some point in time, they could be taken over, like Coca-Cola. I mean, it's hard to really touch them. Pepsi, it's hard, companies like that. Procter & Gamble, they're so big. But, a company like Pets, P-E-T-S, 1-800-PET-MEDS, yeah, man, they got disrupted for sure by Chewy, for example, or Amazon, right? I mean, they can't, so I eventually got out of that. And, I got into options again, and I got it into options through, YieldMax. And obviously, me talking about high income ETFs, options in general, people love it. Although when I talk about options only, just my options, it is a popular video, but it's not as popular when I talk about YieldMax, Defiance, Roundhill, because the popular mentality is people like to invest in ETFs, that do the work for them, right? They don't want to have to do the options. So they'd rather pay a fund manager an expense to trade the options for them. So obviously, if I talk about the funds that do the options, then I'm going to get more people that care about that stuff and not. And at the point in time when, YieldMax came out, I researched them and I decided, all right, I'm going to just talk about how the funds work. And at the time, it took a few times. I eventually dissected it the proper way and I explained it properly. And then somehow or another, I forget how, but I just started talking about their trades, like their holdings, and then their trades. And then people got interested in hearing more about that. And sure enough, I eventually got into covering all the trades. And I did it for YieldMax, and then I started doing it for Defiance when they came out. And they did daily trades, so it was really, really hard. So I was doing I was covering Tesla every day, and I was covering QQQY every day, right? And then eventually, I think I had Tesla, and then Coney in there, and then QQQY, and JEPY at the time it was called. Now it's WDTE, but it was a lot of work. But I learned a lot about the funds at the same time. But that's really what catapulted my channel. And what's really kept my channel on the up and up, again, 25,000, that's no joke. It's low into, YouTube, the majority of the bigger YouTubers, obviously you look at their subscribers, it's outrageous. But I'm not them. I'm just a random dude recording in a garage on a phone. So for me to hit 25,000 subscribers, it is surprising. But the one thing I can tell you, if you guys that are listening and you're either you're an existing YouTuber or you're thinking about it, the best advice I can give you is be consistent, right? Don't just post a video every week for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and then stop. Because people are going to lose interest. if you post a video once a week, every week for the entire year, people are going to show up. People are going to get used to that. People will be there and they will enjoy it. Again, if they want to. But if you're inconsistent, then they're going to give up on you. Me, for example, I started doing daily videos. Maybe that was my own fault. So what do? I do daily videos. I don't miss a day. And I haven't missed a day in a very, very long time. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed a day since, I don't know. It's definitely over a year now, I think. Because why? Because people show up for it. So the people showing up for it is my motivator, right? And being consistent shows them that, okay, this guy, he's going to show up and he's going to make a video every morning at 6:30 a.m. That video will show up. So that being said, people show up to that video either during the premiere or they watch it later, because obviously people have jobs, people work. But the one thing they do know is there's a video. There's a video every single day. And that is the reason I have 25,000 subscribers. Consistency, right? Because it's not like my content is beautiful, right? I record on a phone, I don't edit, I sniffle, I complain, I sing, right? I drink water bottle crackling noises. Yes, people complain about that. People complain about a lot of things. But you know what they do? They still show up because I'm consistent. So the one thing, again, I could tell you is just be consistent, and that's it. That is it. So pick a day a week. If you can't do every day, do once a week. Do it, the weekends. Every Saturday, record that video, post it the Monday. Research, YouTube. What's the busiest time frame to post a video on YouTube? Because when you upload that video, at that point in time, it'll show up on a feed somewhere, right? But then it goes away. So the one thing, the premiere thing, I forget how I found out about that, but obviously from another YouTuber, I'm sure. But it's just something I started. I'm like, and then I asked, like, what time do you guys want to see this? And 6:30 a.m. ended up being, what works for everyone. Granted, I have to get up at 4 a.m. every day now, which is okay because, when I commuted to work every day, 4 a.m. was the norm. Both my wife and I, when we were both working, 4 a.m. The whole house was up at 4 a.m. That was normal. So getting up at 4 a.m. now is not a problem. It's just, making sure it's the nighttime, which that's the challenge for me, because that's where all the work, the intraday trades come in. I have to get the work done. And, most of you who have kids, you understand, like, especially now I'm coaching 2 baseball teams, I'm managing one, coaching one. It's going to be really challenging this upcoming season. I mean, it's already begun, but the games haven't started. So that'll be my challenge to see if I can still conquer, the same content that I'm able to. And obviously, yeah, of course, my full-time job is, but that's, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4:30 or whatever, 6:30 to 4:30. It depends. Whenever I log on, 7:30 to 5, whatever. Okay, here's traffic. But what the heck was I saying? So yeah, the road to 25,000 subscribers, it's a good one. It was along the way, I got bashed a lot in the beginning. I still get bashed, but not nearly as bad. But when you're new to YouTube and you get bashed, it can get to your head for sure. You can think to yourself, like, wow, I'm not good at this. Like, I should not be posting videos. Because people really, they hate the content, or they, you're recording these videos, and again, people the negative feedback can get in your head until, you eventually get used to it. And then the bigger your channel gets, the more people attack you. And, that's going to happen. But again, by that point, you're kind of like, okay, that's like part of it. That's like, you don't have to watch it, right? The bad content, because I'm sure there's content about me that I never even see. But it's okay. If people choose to make content about me, whether good or bad, that's up to them. I'm putting myself out there, so I have to be able to accept, the critics. I have to be able to accept the negativity, the positivity, the good, the bad, the ugly. So I'm fine with that. Like, for example, now, this video, like a guy driving, this is very easy to make fun of. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, if I saw this pop up and it had like 1,000 views, I'm like, who the hell's watching that guy, right? It doesn't make sense. But in reality, it's just, this is content that people enjoy, because normally I'm just reading off of a freaking spreadsheet. But sometimes they like to hear, more than that, right? And they like to hear opinions on certain things, for certain YouTubers. God, this traffic is horrible. But for those of you that don't know, I live in New Jersey, and New Jersey, very busy state, very crowded, very annoying. But yeah. Anyway, I always liked to leave earlier, to get to work earlier, but now that again, once I hit the deer the one morning, I'm like, I like to leave now, at least when it's a little light out. But what the hell were we talking about? YouTube, my journey to 25,000. I don't have a goal either. Like, I don't even know. I mean, YouTube, obviously I'm monetized and they pay me. At 25,000, is that enough to live off of? 25,000 subscribers? No. Well, first of all, the subscribers don't even matter. What matters is the watch hours. And I do get decent watch hours, but no, it's not close to, it's not enough for me to be able to leave my full-time job. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point unless I think of something else, like a better way to monetize, what I'm doing. And I'm up for suggestions if any of you have suggestions, because I just don't know. To me, it's just, I just do it YouTube. Like, I'm on Twitter. I'm not monetized on Twitter, though. I'm not on TikTok. I am on Instagram. I have no idea how to be monetized on Instagram. So the only really way I make money through social media is through YouTube. And again, I'm grateful for even that, because there was a point in time where I just thought it was never going to happen. And the fact that it happened, I'm not stopping. Like, you could see, like I said, I haven't missed a video. Some days, weekends I have a schedule. Every weekday I have a schedule. Once per month, certain videos have to come out. And it's a process, and it is a part-time job. Don't believe me. Don't let people fool you. YouTube is work. Unless you just straight up hit record and just talk about nothing, I guess. And that's the work, just the talking. But a lot of what I do, is there's preparation involved. So, that's the work behind it. Recording is not the issue. Like this video, it doesn't involve anything. It just involves me having to talk on the way to work. And that's not a problem. It's basically like if I commuted with someone, I'd just be bullshitting with them. Instead, I'm just bullshitting with you about, the topics that I want to talk about. And hopefully people tune in. If not, then so be it, right? But like I said, this turned into like one of the, I'm not going to say once a week, but I try to do it once a week. Usually it's like at least twice a month. Riding with Rod. It's a podcast. I mark it as a podcast on YouTube, and it goes under the podcast settings. although it has a video, I don't even know how to, like, if I could make this audio only, it would probably be better, because you guys aren't here for the video, and I don't know how to do audio only. But again, I just don't have the time to even figure it out. So it's just easier for me to make a video, hit record and just blah, 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 right? Blah, 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 blah. So, but anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video about how I made it to 25,000 subscribers. And like I said, the first 3-4 years was horrible. I didn't do good at all. And like I said, I thought, which was really good content. And then eventually I got into a niche where it wasn't that popular, and it still isn't that popular. Like, it's not popular to do, options ETFs, because to the regular market, they are super risky. But what I found out is just talking about them honestly, or how they work, it's just, people appreciate that, because people, most people, they do come into the funds and they just hope to get rich quick, and they think there's no downside. But again, that's why I try to talk about the good and the bad, and at the same time, yes, I do invest in them, and I do utilize them for actual income to pay my bills. And I think people do enjoy that as well, because I'm actually doing it, so they're curious to see how that journey is going. Like, for example, the dividend car journey, like, I'm paying my car payment with my dividends, right? I'm paying other bills with my dividends. And now here we are today, probably one of the biggest corrections we've had in a while, in a row, at least, days in a row. The market's been red a lot lately, and the past 2 trading days have been pretty bad, and there's no sign that it's going to get better anytime soon. But it will get better. It's just a matter of when. So yeah, now, again, I'm going to show them probably at the end of this month of February, my account balance is going to be much less than what it was, which is, that's not good, right? Because now I still have bills coming out, but I have to hopefully make enough in dividends that it will not only cover the bills, but I'll have enough to reinvest, still increasing the fund's value in due time. Because the biggest problem with these ETFs is the recovery. I always tell people that, like, the red market, we should not be worried now, especially for the YieldMax funds. They're beating the underlyings because they're selling covered calls, right? And they sell covered calls and the stock goes down. They're going to win those trades. The problem is when these underlying funds, they start to recover. And it's about how YieldMax can handle that recovery. Because when you sell covered calls, you're tapping the upside. You're capping the upside. So it's just you have to see how it kind of works. And if they get capped on a big, like, if these funds go down and down like this week, and then next week they recover, like, say Tesla, say MSTR comes up 30% in 1 week, and they're only 10% out of the money, they could lose out on 20% appreciation. Of course, they do have the credit call spreads, which eventually will bail them out at some point. But again, the gaps are very wide with that, so it's not a lot to truly help them. But yeah, it's it's interesting, to say the least. So, but yeah, anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video on that, how I made it to 25,000 subscribers. I want to end it there. I'm almost at work anyway. But as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment, so hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we'll try again next time. And just want to say thank you all for being part of the 25,000, assuming you are. And hopefully we can hit 100,000 before you know it. And we get a nice little, at 100,000, you get a nice little plaque. Could you imagine? Oh man, I can hang it up in the garage, right? Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I hope everyone has a great day. Sorry to cut it short, but again, this is just a quick video. But I will talk to all of you later.